Welcome to Chris and Walt's Top 10 show, where we count down the top 10 covers to something. I am Walt.
And I'm Chris.
And Chris, I want to remind everybody that this video is brought to you by icecollectibles.com. Visit icecollectibles.com, Canada's best place to sell your collectibles. We've provided a link below. And Chris will lead us into today's topic.
Right. Today we are talking about the top 10 StanLee appearances on covers.
Top 10, yeah. Stan did weasel his way into a whole bunch of
quite
cover
a few.
appearances.
So
Yeah.
we're gonna tackle with the top 10.
Wonderful. Let's
At
do
least
it.
in our opinion, anyways.
In our opinion, anyway.
All right. Number 10, we have Black Rider, number 8, and this is actually a photo of StanLee as a cowboy on the picture on the
I
cover.
was going to say, where's Stan Lee?
He is right there, front and center. Now, it is not the StanLee that we were used to, the caricature, the Marvel representative, but this is in fact StanLee as the model.
Wow. You know, back in those days, like the budget must have been low. We want to pose for a picture? I can't, Stan. I'm too busy drawing your goddamn comics.
Just do it myself.
I'll just do it myself.
It's just StanLee.
Excelsior.
Okay, number 9. Now, there was a series of comics called StanLee Meets, and then he was on the cover of, at some point, all of them.
Right.
So it was like StanLee meets Doctor Strange, StanLee meets The Thing, StanLee meets the Silver Surfer, yada, yada, yada. There were covers by Mike Wieringo, Lee Weeks, Alan Davis, Oliver Coipel, and Salvador Larroca, and StanLee is on all these covers.
Oh, wonderful. Yeah, I remember some of these. I definitely remember the Amazing Spider-Man one with the homage to number 15,
Sure.
Amazing Fantasy 15. That's probably the most famous one. And of course, you can see him drawing himself into the person under the arm.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I don't think I ever
Well, it's funny because even at the Doctor Strange one, you're like, he's not even out there. But sure enough, in the galaxy in the back, that is him.
that is Stan Lee, like
right?
the Beyonder or
Right,
the Watcher
or the
or
Eternity
somebody.
or
Yeah.
something like that. Yeah,
Wow. Great little series.
yeah, for sure.
Nice.
All right, number 8, we have Edge of Venomverse number 2 by Chris Stevens.
That's a little too slick for me, this one.
It's
Slick Rick right there.
Slick. Well, Venom is a little slick.
Yeah, so I was talking about Stan.
Oh, right,
Yeah.
right.
He looks a little slippery in
Yeah.
this one, if you know what I'm saying.
Well, maybe he got licked by Venom. Or
Hello.
something, I'm just, he's
Hey, it's
long tongue.
the weekend, right, Chris?
Right, yeah. Nothing wrong with that.
Mm-mm.
Nope. Okay, number 7, we've got Black Panther number 1 by Greg Horn.
I don't know. I think they photoshopped his head on top.
It's a weird one. Yeah, I think they
hell's
did.
going on
Yeah,
there?
it's a weird one.
They didn't do that good a job.
No, but I think it's better than the ones we've seen so far.
Yeah, well,
No, maybe
I
not.
don't
Maybe
know.
not.
I don't know.
Well, maybe
I don't
maybe I
know.
goofed up on this one.
No, my favorite one is the Black Rider so far. Stan was looking svelte in that one, by the way.
Number 6. Now
Oh.
this is a magazine. It's a
Uh-huh.
comic fanzine, but Comic Reader number 179 by Jim Engels. Of course, this is it was meant to be a joke because,
Yeah.
as you can see, it's like a memoriam kind of thing,
Right.
where StanLee, born 1922 to 19, lived until 1980.
Right.
He did not die in 1980, so
No, he didn't. No, he lived a long and fruitful life.
Fruitful life.
To all of our benefit.
But I like how all the heads are very sad.
Yeah. I didn't even notice that. You're right. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, and that's kind of Stan had a bunch of incarnations, right? One
Yeah.
of them was the wide lapel, not the 3 buttons on the top, not done up.
Yeah.
70s
Yeah.
Stan Lee,
Yeah.
that was in a bunch of
Yeah,
stuff.
and he was
But I think most of us know him from the old man Stan Lee, right? From the
right.
Marvel movies, the
Right.
cameos, and
Yeah.
but there was definitely that. I don't want to call him not a hipster, but what's that 70s player?
Yeah,
He was a
definitely,
player in
yeah,
the 70s, right?
yeah,
And
for
that's
sure.
definitely one of them right there.
I would agree with that. Yeah. Okay, number 5, and What If number 11,
Famous.
very famous comic.
Uh-huh.
Now this is what if the original Marvel bullpen had become the Fantastic Four.
Now, Chris, I know that maybe some of the listeners or watchers of this video may not be Canadian, may not be big Toronto Maple Leaf fans,
Yeah.
but thinking that Austin Matthews was a Stan Lee fan.
Possibly,
Yeah.
possibly, yeah.
Oh, hey, we'll let you decide for yourself there. Have a look.
Well, I do like how StanLee is considered to be Mr. Fantastic in this
Right.
cover, and I
Right.
think that's Jack Kirby as the Thing,
Yes, definitely Jack
and I
Kirby.
think Marie Severin
Oh.
as the Invisible Woman,
Uh-huh.
and then I think it's supposed to be John Buscema, but I could be wrong as the
Right.
Human
You
Torch.
know
I
what?
could be wrong
It's your eyes drawn so much to Stan Lee that I did not notice. Now that you look at the thing, that's Jack Kirby.
for
For
sure.
Pete's sake,
Yeah.
I've looked at this cover for 50 years. I didn't even notice
Well,
this.
it takes guys like me to point these things out to you.
That's why you're there.
That's
That's why you're
right.
sitting in that chair right
That's
there, Chris.
that's what it is, eh?
Mhm.
All right, number four, Fantastic Four number 236.
Famous cover again.
Yeah,
Big anniversary issue,
love this
20th
cover.
anniversary.
Yeah, I love this cover, and of course,
Now, is this one of those Find Waldo things?
Find Stan thing. Yeah,
Yeah. Don't
yeah.
tell me where he
Okay, I
is.
won't search
Do
around
do that.
there.
Do that. Do,
Doop,
do, do,
doop,
do,
doop,
do,
doop.
do, do. There he is, top right.
Got it. Yeah, you are
Ding, ding,
correct.
ding.
Wearing the green jacket.
Yes.
Yeah, that is him. But I do love this cover, even though it's a Fantastic Four cover. You've got multiple different characters on this.
Right.
Great
You got to
cover.
remember though, Chris, that for Marvel, for the Marvel that we know, the Marvel that started in November of 1961 with the launch of Fantastic Four, this is the first 20th anniversary celebration
Right.
across the Marvel line,
Sure.
right? This would have been the tail end of 1981.
Right.
And then, in 62, you had Spider Man and Hulk and Thor celebrating their 20th. And then in 63, you had the rest of them, X Men, Iron Man, and all
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
stuff, right? So, yeah, this was kind of the first 20th anniversary celebratory issue.
Absolutely. I love it. Okay, let's keep going here. Number three, Marvel Fumetti.
Oh, I know this one. I remember Chris when, when the great Stan Lee passed.
Right.
This was one of the ones that was all of a sudden worth $50.
Right.
You know,
Right.
it was always in the
Yeah.
$5 bin or $2 bin because nobody wanted it,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? And all of a sudden, it was worth $50. Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
So you get a Stan Lee signature.
Right.
Would you want a Stan Lee signature on this or on Spider-Man #1?
Yeah. That's a great
You've
question.
only got $20 in your pocket, and Stan's charging 25
And
to,
it's got to be Spidey one. I
yeah,
would think.
yeah,
Although the thing about getting this one would be cool because if you only had $20, it's got to be Spidey one. But if you had
right,
more than 20,
right,
you want to get this one because how cool would it be to get all these other people if they're still around to
right,
get those
yeah.
signatures too, right?
Yeah. I remember, similarly to that when, that, what was it? I think it was the Spider-Man #700 where they had all the artists
Right.
and somebody would try to get all the names of the artists beside their
Yeah.
name,
Yeah.
beside the creator names on the cover.
Yeah.
It was ridiculous. One was on eBay and it had like 19 signatures on it.
Ridiculous. Yeah.
It was absolutely
Yeah.
ridiculous. But yeah, this is a very famous Stan Lee cover.
I love it. I love it. Number two, we have the official Marvel No Prize book by
Hi.
Michael Golden.
Yes, another super famous cover. Super hot now with Doc Doom,
Right.
right?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Great cover. I know a guy. I won't mention his name. He might not want me to mention his name.
Right.
Well, what the hell are you doing mentioning my name? My wife doesn't know I collect comics. What are you doing to me? Now I'm in trouble. No, he showed me his no prize letter.
Okay, and so for those of you that aren't aware what a no prize letter is,
Right,
back in the day, whenever an avid fan would spot continuity issues,
right.
they would send Marvel a letter saying, "Hey, how come Spider-Man's in the hospital because he got beaten up by the Hulk in this issue, but
Huh?
then just the issue right afterwards, now he's not in the hospital anymore,
Right, or
or
something.
something like that."
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
But then
And
in the
then
next one after that, he's in the hospital again.
Right, and then Marvel will send you a no prize
Yeah,
letter, and inside the letter, there's nothing.
that's right.
It's just the envelope.
It's just an envelope.
Yeah,
Yeah,
which is
and
cool.
so what they did with this book is they compiled all these letters from these fans
Right.
and let them know exactly why they were all in here and what was going on.
Wonderful, wonderful.
I particularly like the little night nurse corner box
Yes,
because
yes.
I think that's the only time you ever see that sort of like spooky version of a night nurse.
God bless her. That's
Yeah.
what I say. All right,
Perfect.
let's go. Here we
All right,
go.
here we go. Number one, drum roll, please. And we have Marvel Age number 41.
It has to be this one.
This is exactly what you were talking about with the
Yeah,
shirt with the
yeah,
top 3 or 4 buttons
yeah,
undone.
yeah.
That early 80s, late 70s look,
Hmm.
looking like he's a playa,
Stan is a player. He just came out of Studio 54.
right?
Uh, and the a little worse for the wear, if you know what I'm saying. Yeah, this is a great book, very famous. Again, this one, like the other one, Chris, was worth a whole ton of money
Sure.
after Stan passed.
Yeah.
And it's funny, the great Stan Lee. But let's go into the segue of reviewing all the covers after I tell everybody exactly what they got to do.
What's that?
Well, they got to go down and hit the like button. And then, Chris, they got to go down and hit the subscribe button.
And then what?
And then they got to go hit that notification bell.
Ah,
And that really makes you and me happy.
it really does.
It does. But okay, so let's review the day. Um, so remember in the last few years of Stan's life where he was so busy going to shows and signing
Yeah.
things and I remember being in the business of buying and selling comics. I remember there was like a strain of thought that's like, why would I want a Stan Lee signed copy? There's 8 billion Stan Lee Sig
Right,
copies out
right,
there.
right.
And, as of today, years and years after his passing, that is the number one value drive. I mean, above and beyond having like a Frazetta
Sure.
or whatever, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I'm talking, your the people that are in the business that are signing and that have been signing the last 20 years. Your McFarlane's who's great, your Adams's who's great, but Stan Lee, even though his signature production was probably tenfold higher than the rest of
Oh
them,
yeah, absolutely.
his still command the most money.
Absolutely. I believe that. I
Right.
believe that. Yeah.
It's the Stan Lee Sig
Yeah.
that you want.
Yeah. Absolutely. I would want it still.
Yeah.
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 Perfect.
So the power of the man, the myth, the legend is and I know there's some detractors from Jack did a lot, of course, but Stan Lee is still Stan Lee.
I totally agree.
And I love this list. I agree with the number one. I'm sweet on that number 10 though.
You're gonna have to find yourself a copy of that.
Right. All right. Listen, want to remind everybody this video is brought to you by Ice Collectibles. Please visit icecollectibles.com. It is Canada's best place to sell your collectibles. We've provided a link below. Chris, take us out of here.
Please go out and have yourself a wonderful day.